Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Jan, the CEO of Acquire.Fi. We have both Nathan and Andrew today with us. We did only one video this week. Unfortunately, we had some team events, but happy to be back. Happy to see what's happening in the market. Andrew, you're our, I don't know, rainmaker of charts. What are you seeing?
Lots of things. I'm seeing some exhaustion going on. We had a really nice strong blow off, and now we've just been kind of going back and forth for the last pretty much this week, pretty much. But there's a lot of signs that there's a lot of weakness starting to show up here. When we look at Bitcoin, it came right up at a 2.618 fib extension as well as an 88.6 level, and they got rejected. So that's your typical level of where you would expect to see some kind of resistance. And then on top of that, we do have these bearish divergences still in the MACD. We do have a bear div on the RSI now, and we're quite overbought. So when you look at the technicals of things, like, we are in an area of where prices should technically correct, even being up against these previous highs. And then also, if you notice, the hash ribbon signal is capitulating now, finally. So that puts an end to our buy signal. And so now this is where you might want to start cooling your jets if you are aggressively trying to long this market, as the miners are now becoming unprofitable. And this is the area, again, where we should expect to see some kind of fall down. We got some potential double tops coming in. But at the same time, this could easily turn into a double bottom, and then maybe there's one more stab up higher. But at the moment, I am leaning more to the downside and waiting for this double top structure to break in and confirm. Momentum-wise, things look pretty weak. There's a lot of exhaustion. And then same thing with ETH. ETH doesn't look as bad, but there is a bear div on the RSI now. We are quite overbought. We've been overbought for quite some time now. We came right up against the 200 SMA, so that's acting as some heavy resistance at the moment. No bear div on the MACD, but the bear div in the RSI is quite significant. So again, it seems like the market's just on a little bit of a pause. We've had such a large breakout that it makes sense for the market to cool down just slightly here, whether we correct fully or we just kind of stay arranging for the next little bit here. But the biggest tell sign for me is the fact that we are capitulating on the hash ribbon signals, and we got a lot of confluence with the other indicators. So
Question. There's gonna be a lot of new people watching this. What is a bear div?
It's pretty much a divergence is when you get when price is making higher highs and then your indicators are making lower highs. And essentially it's just like a divergence. So as you can see, MACD, we made lower highs here, but we made higher highs in price. And essentially, pretty much once it breaks below that neckline and crosses the zero line, that's the confirmation. And that just means the momentum is shifting. Price isn't as strong as what it looks like. And there's a lot of slowing down essentially on the buy side.
Where you got all these fancy lines up here. I was telling you all week, all you need to do is look at that moon. That big full moon came out. Look at this. Sure enough, now we're going bearish and going down again.
Yeah. So, we're in a lot of levels where prices should technically slow down. Even if you look at total crypto market cap, you got these big bear divs who really overbought, got some bearish divergence on the RSI. And again, we are starting to slowly form potential double tops. And generally, when you see those, it's not what you want to be longing. It's actually what you want to be either shorting or maybe taking some stuff off. Dominance chart, things are kind of falling off here a bit. Stablecoin dominance is trying to put in a little bottom here. There was a lot of selling yesterday. And then over pretty much near the end of the US session, there was a little bit of a bounce, mainly off of Powell's speech as well as the PPI numbers. But overall, I do feel like things are quite heavy, at least for crypto. If we look over equities are still ripping up much higher. Equities look quite strong actually right now. as we are breaking out of these ranges. But again, momentum is slowing down in a sense. We do have some bear divs. We are quite overbought. So eventually there is going to be a correction, in my opinion. So I wouldn't want to step right in front of it, nor would I want to be chasing the long side, just waiting for consolidation again, and then see if there's any market structure failure.
What kind of ranges are you looking at for pullback? Like we going sub 100K? We going down like mid to low 90s? What's the setup?
I don't know. To be honest, no one ever really knows. But I mean, realistically, like if we do come back and retest these previous breakout levels, that'd be pretty reasonable. If you do take the short on this double top, that if it does come in, you can do.
I can't see any graph.
Oh shoot! Sorry, wrong chart. So if we do take this double top short and it does come in, simple 2-to-1 risk reward would give you around like 95, which is kind of around this area where we did have the previous kind of breakout. So this is the last area of support. So prices do eventually need to come back, retest it. So realistically, around there is kind of what I'm looking at, anywhere from 97 to 95K possibly. But who knows? We might even just get a little bit of a pullback. 100K seems to be kind of like where a lot of people are trying to position themselves in at the moment. But again, if anything, news driven or something like that comes out, that might help either accelerate or deny it. So it's tough to also see like equities pumping really hard right now. And then if equities run up, then usually crypto kind of follows. But we might see a bit of a disconnect at the moment. So we'll see.
Capo did tweet out a black swan the other day. So I mean,
no, you never know, man. That's the thing about black swans.
Should be bullish for
seasonality. What about seasonality? We've been watching it quite closely.
So seasonality wise, like usually like mid-May is kind of where things kind of fall off. We are in the middle of May right now, so maybe we see something coming in either this weekend or next weekend. We do have one more U.S. session today, so see if the market does start cooling off a bit. But we'll see if we even get the sell-off in May. I mean, like I said, things are looking a little bit heavy, so it wouldn't be surprising if we do get a bit of a correction coming in here now. So.
I don't know. I'm a little bit bearish for summer. I just know that things get very slow, nothing happens, and all the VCs are in France or in Monaco or I don't know what's the summer place in US.
The same thing. Everyone goes to the Hamptons.
Mexico.
Mexico. Okay.
The old expression is like the Hamptons, right? The New York people. They all go out there. But I mean, like, this year, seasonality wise, like summer might actually be kind of a bullish thing. Maybe like later half of summer. Even the Jan barometer that I look at is also pointing towards like a bullish summer this year. So we'll see. Only time will tell.
Got it. Yeah. Nathan, let's go to the news. I see like constantly bullish news being brought up by Trump and his team. But overall, also for us, we're onboarding way more clients than before. Things are looking pretty bright. Hopefully we can give some updates later on. But yeah, what's up?
Yeah, so it's my job, I guess, to pull you two out of this bearish mindset. For I'm with you guys though on the short term. I do think we get a pullback here, but I don't know. It's hard to imagine a summer that's not bullish with all the news that we're seeing. We're probably FOMC meeting or two away from rate cuts coming in, which we know money printing starts shortly after that. So it would be hard to see rate cuts and not have the markets pump. But just a quick shout out for everybody that's new watching here. If you're not familiar with us, we're Acquire.Fi. We're the largest mergers and acquisitions platform in Web3. Got over 200 different assets listed. We help companies get acquired. We help institutions that are looking to acquire companies get connected. We help them work out those deals, make it make sense, so everybody can leave happy. We cover everything in any sector, from launch pads to wallets to DeFi opportunities, licenses, you name it. We're also one of the biggest OTC desks in the space, covering everything from liquid to locked, SAF safes, equities, you name it. So that's a bit about us. That's kind of our core business. and what we do. We try to get on these videos every week here and keep you guys updated on what's going on in the markets, both from chart perspective, news perspective, and with kind of a unique view on the M&A and OTC side of things. So thanks for tuning in. If it's your first time, if you're a long time OG watching these videos, welcome. And as always, if you ever want to get connected for any of the M&A OTC stuff, hit us up on Telegram. You can DM us on Twitter there. But into the bullish news here. Eric Trump, who obviously has been very bullish on crypto for the last few months here, in a recent speech here, saying the race to the top for accumulate as much Bitcoin has started. We've been talking for a couple months now about the inevitable Bitcoin arms race between institutions, nation states, sovereign wealth funds, and hopefully all of us degens can get a piece of it as well. I do believe that is inevitable, and we're starting to see more and more news stories here just in the last few days here. If I can get this to load.
Wow.
Just in the last few days, we've got Congressman Beach, saying that the U.S. is going to start buying Bitcoin. We have got in the last couple days, five companies buying more than $3 billion worth of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy, Nakamoto, MetaPlanet, GD Culture, 21, which is Jack's new. He's working with Cantor Fitzgerald, Tether, and a couple other major names in the space to create a MicroStrategy type strategy for them. Obviously, Jack Mallers, they bought up $458 million here in the last week. Latin America is buying like crazy, multiple different companies. This is the largest e-commerce company buying 400 more Bitcoin. I've got literally dozens of stories. GD Culture selling their own stock to buy $300 million worth of Bitcoin. Just bullish news after bullish news. This is a pretty big story here. Nakamoto, $700 million Nakamoto CEO, telling that CNBC he wants to become bigger than MicroStrategy. They're adopting that same strategy now. I prefer to see companies buying spot. This buy to leverage and then buy more to leverage and buy more definitely worries me. I know Michael Saylor's a smart dude. We love him. He's super bullish on our industry. We talked a bit about it before, but I don't know about you guys. It just seems too good to be true. It seems like there's a bubble coming in the future with this stuff. I don't know what your guys' thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I would definitely say we're in a bubble. Everyone's trying to come in and join in on this Bitcoin trade. Bitcoin's already at like all-time highs, almost. Like, to be leveraging this heavily at this stage seems like a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, I think the fiat system is crumbling down. We are printing way more money than before. People are understanding that there's a limited supply, and that's the reason I think we're pumping. But obviously, I do agree here. Usually when there's a lot of bullish news, the fear and greed index goes to greed, and that's usually when things start to basically break down. Doing leverage trading in these amounts is always bad. Also, like, let's say there would be a black swan event happening. I don't know what that could be. Maybe someone gets hacked. Maybe there's some North Korean hackers that get access to more than $10 billion worth of BTC. Like, how is that liquidity going to be drying up if everyone wants to cash out? Obviously, I'm here for the long term, been here for 10 plus years. Always happy to see when companies are buying more BTC, but when they're buying with leverage, it's never a good thing. So,
yeah, and then just to clarify for, again, if you're relatively new to the channel or new with crypto, when we say leverage, we're not talking about these companies taking an actual leverage trade. But what they're doing is once they acquire the assets, they're using that as collateral to take out loans to then buy more assets. So it is a different type of leverage, but it can create the same kind of liquidity cascade or liquidation cascade, rather, where if the price of the collateral drops below a certain threshold, they're going to get called on that loan. And now, as we see more and more of these companies coming in and doing this, it can create a very dangerous situation. So I think this shows great upside potential for the short to medium term, but it scares the shit out of me for the long term. This could be building up for the next FTX event. It seems like every time we go into the bear cycle or go to the bear market, there's some new catalyst that kind of it starts the whole fall down of Bitcoin and the reset of the market. So I don't know. This could be it for this cycle? But each time we get one of those, we hopefully learn a little bit more and get better practices going in crypto. But as far as when the market's going to be ending, we keep seeing more and more stuff like this. Bitcoin purchases outweighing the supply of Bitcoin by 3.3x in 2025 so far. Obviously very bullish for the overall ecosystem. Anytime your demand is almost 3.5 times your supply, it usually means you're going to continue to see the price of that asset appreciating. Another something to consider here, we're seeing all this institutional coverage buying and nation states buying. Retail though is still very, very quiet. Google searches are still almost at 4-year lows. The fear and greed index for the average retail hasn't really gone crazy yet. We're not seeing all of despite the fact that we have the major news outlets talking about it. Retail FOMO hasn't kicked in yet. So if you're here now, if you're watching, congrats, you're ahead of the curve. Even if this is you just get your first year in crypto, you're ahead of the curve here. So play it smart, and you still have an opportunity in this cycle to make some really good gains.
No, I agree. But again, I like how you said, like, it's never a good thing when you see too many people going leverage. Obviously, I'm in the corner saying fiat system is going to go down. There's a lot of also like these companies that are buying BTC at the moment are basically also dead companies. Like GameStop, for example, I think they started finally buying BTC, and everyone that has been following GameStop, they know the story. They basically have these old school gaming stores all around US, but they're actually not. The amount of games they're selling each year is not a lot compared to their market cap. So I think this is a great strategy for companies that are dead and they basically want to recover. Same thing with MicroStrategy. Like if you look at their other side of business, not buying BTC, the other one, basically computer software, it's declining a lot. So I don't know. I think this is the last resort for a lot of them. But what do you guys think? Andrew, you're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, I definitely agree. Like, you got these like random gimmicky companies all trying to ape into Bitcoin. The only reason why GameStop is valuable is just because of that. They literally were going bankrupt. They're closing pretty much all their stores. The only reason why they got hyped was the short squeeze, obviously, in the last cycle. And then now it's just the remnants of it. And now they're just playing on like the buzzwords of like Bitcoin. And so I'm seeing a lot of these stock companies doing the same thing. And I don't know. I definitely don't think this is like a bullish thing. I definitely think we're coming close. Yeah. Like, when did we become so dependent on TradFi, huh?
Yeah, true.
Well, we're seeing a major breaking story here this week is Coinbase, one of the biggest exchanges in the world, tier 1 up there with Binance, OKX, some of the other ones. Hackers demanding $20 million. They hacked essentially the user data. They are holding a whole bunch of user data ransom right now. From what I've heard, your seed phrases and passwords were not compromised, but things like emails, names, all of the other personal information has been compromised. They want $20 million to get that back. Brian Armstrong, the CEO, in turn, has offered a $20 million reward for anybody that leads to the arrest or the apprehension or catching who these guys are there. Having looked into it a little bit more about how did this actually happen, it seems very preventable. Essentially, to save some money, they were hiring customer service agents from second and third world countries, and surprise, surprise, those people are easily or essentially were compromised because other agents, whether it was nation states or just hackers within the crypto space, approached these people that aren't making a whole lot of money and said, hey, you want to make a little extra money on the side? Start saving all the customer data and giving it to us. So something that could be very easily Coinbase makes a lot of money For something like this that involves OPSEC so directly, you would think they would be a little more careful with who they're hiring and where they're hiring from. Pay some higher wages and get some people in jurisdictions that are much less susceptible to this sort of scheme.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I'd be worried about because people's addresses and stuff got leaked. So there's a lot of kidnappings and stuff happening right now, especially in Europe. I'd be pretty frightened, just knowing that all my information is leaked and they know your balances. It's not a good thing. I think Coinbase is actually getting sued right now.
Definitely. They definitely will be.
No, this is absolutely horrible. If you think about it, they have your address, they have the amount that you own, they have your phone number, they have something
picture.
else. Yeah, and basically with the help of AI, now you can do a lot of things. I saw some post of was it Mike Dudas, which is kind of like a famous person. He was one of the hacked one. And he was starting to get loan applications from 6 different lenders and shit. That's one thing that is horrible. And the second one is all right, no one should know how much money you have. That's your own personal business. And now you have random people that know where you live, how much money you have, how much crypto you have. Very big fuck up. I don't understand. I do understand people holding in exchanges. I don't recommend it. I think self-custody is the way. But obviously, if you are not tech savvy and you don't really understand what you're doing, hey, this is the only way. And what I understood also, if you're in US, Coinbase is the biggest. If you want to do on and off ramp, come on,
there's not much else available to Americans. I mean, you can't use Binance. You can use Binance US. Binance's US is fairly limited. Other than that, Bybit, OKX. I don't know. Are there any other major exchanges that you can use other than Coinbase in the US?
Gemini, Kraken, but obviously they're not as big as Coinbase at the moment.
Yeah. Well, Kraken has had their share of hacks in the past. We know that as well. So it's just, it's a really bad look. We talk about mass adoption, talk about bringing on Web 2, retail users, et cetera. Well, they're going to be onboarding through platforms like Coinbase. And if there's no trust in those platforms, there's not a whole lot of hope for that segment of the industry of money to come into the space.
No, absolutely. Again, Coinbase is not a bank. It's an exchange. Don't keep your money in an exchange. That's number one use.
Well, for now, Coinbase is trying to become a bank.
Oh, yeah, all right. We're trying to get away from TradFi, but then we're becoming TradFi.
after this, that was the big news. The last 2 weeks was Coinbase, after saying how they want to be the anti-bank, applied for banking licenses. Well, I don't know if those are going to get approved after this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, if you're keeping coin stock, I would be selling.
Yeah, well, the rest of the stocks might be looking good. Not the Coinbase, maybe not so much. Trump the other day coming out and saying, get ready for stocks to go a lot higher. That coming around the same time, we got the great news that the trade war is over for now. Anyways, I'm on a 90-day pause. We saw the U.S. and China having negotiations in the last week. I think this got announced on Monday or Tuesday this week here, but tariffs being reduced on Chinese goods and U.S. goods. So a mutual agreement there, lowering those tariffs by a substantial amount. Markets responding very positively to that. Now we just got to get the long-term deal done. This is one of the major catalysts that we have been talking about on this show that we need to see the second half of this bull market really kick off and send Bitcoin and altcoins to the multiples that everybody expects towards the second half of a bull run here. So we're starting to look like the trade deals are all getting done. The other aspect we talk about is rate cuts and printing needing to be happening, and then some. The war in Ukraine also needed to be coming to a ceasefire, which all three of those now in the early stages of being completed. So bullish looking stuff there. And I don't know where you guys have anything else to say around the tariffs here.
Definitely a bullish thing. We saw what happened to the market after the UK stuff, right? The market just kind of shot up. So I think anytime these tariff deals go through and they get resolved, it's for the positive side of things. But
We're
No, I
gonna get
agree. If you can trade with other countries without having tariffs, that would be ideal. And obviously, Trump is trying to really hard and now make deals all over the place. But so far, he's succeeding pretty well. But the market still, like, if you look at the what do you call it? Yields? Is it yields? I think.
bond
Or
yields.
rates. Yeah, bond rates are going sky high. So this is never a good thing, guys. I don't know if you guys know what the bonds are, but basically this is governments borrowing money, and the rates should be lower. Like we have inflation going down, we have now the money supply also pumping a little bit more, but almost every currency is getting wrecked, like very badly. And usually when these hit 5%, we see major corrections. So despite the Trump doing all these deals, the rates has been going up, which is not good. So I don't know. Maybe why people are buying BTC now is because of hedging, right? But this is never a good thing, guys. Never a good thing.
Yeah, I think we've talked, back when these trade wars started. Why is Trump doing these kind of things that seemingly are going to push the economy down, push the U.S. dollar down, et cetera? The fact that a lot of people are forgetting about is it's getting down to the wire here. I think we only have like 3.5-4 months until the U.S. needs to refinance something like $7 trillion in debt. Trump wants the interest rates cut massively by then. If that doesn't happen, the rate at which they're going to have to renew those loans is going to be detrimental to the economy, far worse than a short-term pullback would be. So I think this kind of falls in line with that. We haven't seen the pullback that we need. We haven't seen the Fed start to cut rates yet. So until we get that, I think the pressure is going to be on to dampen the economy so that we can force those rate cuts to happen in time to refinance that debt.
What's your take, Andrew? You're more technical here.
It's definitely a stressful time. I don't know what they're gonna do. They want the rates to be lower, but if it starts climbing, they might have to start, making drastic changes. That's probably why Trump is leaning towards more just like, okay, let's just get these deals through. Because he came out like all hot and heavy, and now he's kind of like tapering back. So we'll see.
Yeah, still a lot of uncertainty out there. M2 continues to climb, and we haven't seen quite the inflows that we'd expect into risk on markets yet. Obviously, the last week or so has been really good, but that big money isn't going to go anywhere until they have some sort of market certainty, and the markets are anything but certain right now. One thing I am certain of, though, is this take from El Presidente from Dave Portnoy here is about as smooth brain as they come. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Dave. He does a lot of cool stuff. I think he's a funny guy, smart businessman, obviously, and I think he knows what he's saying here is silly. It's a headline, but Dave on a CoinDesk show recently talking about how XRP, he's bullish on XRP because he thinks it could be the next opportunity like Bitcoin. He opens by saying he lost a bid on a luxury house in Miami to a Bitcoiner, and thought that was bullshit because he says, I've been working for 40 years or whatever to make all my money, and this guy just bought Bitcoin at $8 or something and held on to it. It's a silly comments to make for a number of reasons. He's been in this industry 5 minutes, buying Bitcoin at $8, $10, $100, whatever, and holding it up to over 100,000. That's no easy feat. Not only the amount of time you would have had to wait, but like how many people have the balls to hold on to something to see it go 100x, 200x, 500x, 1000x, and still be holding on to that and being able to not get rugged or lose that money in some way. Like it's no easy feat. You're not just getting lucky being in this industry for a decade.
Yeah. No, that takes skills. Takes mad skills. Like most people would have cashed out by then. Absolutely. And it's very funny to hear this guy complaining because didn't this guy just make like 20 rug coins and then just rugged everyone? Like he's constantly rugging people.
Yeah.
Like I think he's a piece of shit, to be honest. He did the same shit during COVID. Like he was trying to do this shit with like stocks and shit, and like literally made people lose money. Took no responsibility, and then pretty much called everyone a retard. like I don't know. There's like nothing changes with this guy, and that's the typical like people that you see online right now. It's like these influencers.
What and a lot, if we're going to use Dave's logic here, right? Talking about XRP being the next Bitcoin, that can get people excited. He talks about it's at $2.40. It's a very newbie mistake to make when you come into this industry and you see a token, you're like, oh, it's only $1. It's only $2.40. XRP sitting at like what? 241 today here, saying, well, Bitcoin's at 103,000. So if XRP goes to 103,000, amazing. Like, look at the, thousands and thousands of X's that I would make, right? Well, that's not how this works, right? It's just basic math. Like your price is indicative of nothing. Your price is just a reflection of the market cap and the circulating supply. That's all that is. So like look at the supply of Bitcoin versus the supply of XRP, right? And look at their market caps. For someone to make luxury Miami property kind of money with XRP, like the people that made that with Bitcoin, they got we're talking 500 to 1,000x to get those kind of gains if you were coming from nothing and getting lucky, as Dave says here. Well, if you get an XRP today at $141 billion market cap, if you want to see even a 10x out of that, it's going to have to be almost $1.5 trillion market cap. If you want to see 100x, we're starting to get into like real, possibly making like life-changing money. It's going to have to be that'd be a $14 trillion market cap, almost the entire market cap of gold. And 1,000x, I mean, forget about it. It's absolutely, just an asinine comparison to say, oh, you're going to be able to make Bitcoin levels of money with XRP. Like just basic math, guys. If you're new to crypto, understand the price means nothing. You need to understand the basic fundamentals of a token, which, Dave understands token fundamentals. For him to say this stuff, again, it gets into that scammy territory. Like, dude, why? Come on, man. Like you're obviously smarter than this. Why are we, making these extrapolations that XRP could be the next Bitcoin when it's already sitting at $140 billion market cap?
Because he's holding a big bag and he's trying to show it.
Yeah, which he mentions. But again, guys, just a good reminder, a good warning. Like, be careful who you listen to in this industry. You might like Dave's pizza reviews. You might like Barstool, but probably not the best guy to listen to for stock and crypto picks.
Yeah.
Stick to the pizza.
Stick to the pizza.
I mean, when it comes to pizza, he might be the GOAT. He might be the Warren Buffett of pizza reviews, but definitely not when it comes to calling stocks in crypto.
No, but he actually started like crypto, I think last year really actively. Like he was not doing anything almost in crypto before. He was very actually anti-crypto during the last bull run. So seeing this guy coming to crypto and grifting, not a good thing. Obviously, his pizza reviews are good, but like as you said, Nathan, like if Ripple goes to $1 trillion market cap, I mean, it needs to have quite a lot of money behind it, like a lot. So yeah, I don't know.
It needs 900 billion more dollars. That's a lot of money. How many? Look, I mean, the crypto market caps are it's hard to compare. Like, people that are traditional stock market traders, like companies that are $141 billion companies, there's not that many of them. How many $1 trillion companies are there in the world? There's a handful, right? So say that XRP is going to blow up and even hit a 10x, which would put it at one of the largest market cap companies in the entire world for a 10x. Like, that's even a stretch, let alone making Bitcoin, Miami luxury property money. Like, there's no 100x in XRP, right? There's 1x in XRP, and it's in the name, right?
We're gonna be quoting this later on when XRP hits 2.9 or let's say $5.
Well, for $5, yeah, you get a 2x. That would be impressive, and I don't doubt XRP could do that. But that's still it's gonna need another $150 billion to come into that ecosystem. And if we're talking crypto, getting a 2x, doing it, doubling your money, like there are daily tokens that do that are you can be interested in if you're trying to come into this industry and make some good trades. XRP is not necessarily where it's at. If you're a traditional investor and you're happy with that 2x, then by all means, XRP probably a fairly safe play for you. No financial advice on this channel, but comparing it to Bitcoin gains, get the fuck out of here, bro. Come on.
Yeah. What other news do we have? Anything
I mean, we got, I think, one other story here. This is kind of interesting. Major breakthrough, for eons, since the dawn of time, since gold started being valuable. Alchemists have been trying to replicate gold. It's a major trope in movies and books and all kinds of fantasy novels, and even scientists for the last thousands of years have been trying to do it. And for the first time ever, they've been successful. Using the particle smashers. They have turned lead into gold atoms, right? That are indistinguishable from gold for the human eye, or even with a mag glass. I don't know how much science behind this is. Haven't done a whole lot of research on this, but it could have very, very major implications for a $22 trillion asset. Gold is, has been one of the most stable assets since the dawn of time. Now, some things to consider with this. This is still, it's no longer theoretical, but if we're talking about using particle accelerators, there's not very many of those. They're extremely expensive. I think they said it took $5 billion to create a few gold atoms, right? So we're not talking about gold bullion. So theoretically, a major breakthrough that this is now potentially, essentially possible. Is it going to be ready for mass production? Are we going to see, man-made gold flooding the market anytime soon? I do not think so. Is it scary that that's potential now? Oh, absolutely. It's a $22 trillion asset. Like, that could wreck everything if this started to be something that's majorly producible. Within the next 5 to 10 years, is this something that is a major scare? I don't think so. Particle accelerators are extremely expensive and difficult to build, and they're mostly being used for trying to replicate fusion energy and other black hole experiments and things like that. So them building these to try and make more gold, I don't see happening in the very near future, but another doomsday thing to put on the radar.
No, I think like changing physics is something that's going to happen eventually. We're in the age of AI. AI will come up with some crazy stuff that we can't even comprehend. And when that happens, I think like physical assets like gold, silver, and other, cobalt, they will be all like you can man-made them. Look what happened with diamonds. Like, it's just a matter of time. Obviously, here comes the thing, like BTC cannot be made up or mined if you don't have the mining equity. Sorry, I went off target.
No, but that's kind of the right correlation to make here, is that this is, while it could be detrimental to, the gold industry and in many things, which however far in the future it is before this becomes, producible on scale, but, Bitcoin doesn't matter. Like, there's only, ever going to be a finite 21 million Bitcoin, right? It's not something they can create a new technology to start mining new Bitcoin. Like, obviously, we talk about, quantum computing and stuff like that, but quantum computing becomes a threat. It's going to be a threat to, the traditional banking market far more than it is Bitcoin. So it's not saying, quantum computing is going to destroy Bitcoin. Quantum computing is going to destroy the entire financial system if that becomes a threat. It's not Bitcoin's going to be the leader.
Everything, bro. Yeah. We're going to get hacked every day. We're already getting hacked every day.
Right. So, like, you're gonna need a gold coin purse to be carrying around physical money at that point, right? Because anything digital, all fiat currencies are going to be wrecked, right? They're going to be dead. So, interesting stuff coming out. It's a weird new world that we're in right now. But it's one of those kind of things that keeps you up. It should not be keeping you up at night, because there's not a damn thing you or I can do about it. We really don't know what's going to happen and what's going to come out of this. So. Interesting story. Could be a bullish case for Bitcoin, but something to keep an eye on, I guess.
Are we shorting this, Andrew?
Gold? No.
Yeah. No.
Off of this news, definitely not. Like, I think
we're running before the market. Come on.
Like, honestly,
running the market. We need to.
Like, think about it. Like, diamonds are worthless, but yet they still sell for ridiculous prices, right? So at the end of the day, it's going to be something similar to that, probably, where you're going to have these like monopolies, and they're going to control price, and it's not going to matter.
Yeah, but I still think my valid point that we're going to be able to do almost anything that is physical somehow with AI. We're going to come up with more particle. What did you call it? CERN, right? It's in
CERN, particle collider, particle smasher.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. We will get into a place where we can make almost whatever we want, either by 3D printing or with something else. Even teleporting is becoming possible now. So, but
Nice.
okay. It's 40 minutes already. This episode was pretty long. Any final words?
No, I just say thanks for everybody watching. I'm sure we got some new viewers turning in. We've been doing some marketing efforts to bring some more eyes to these videos. Thanks for everybody that's watching. Leave us a comment. Let us know what you thought. Let us know what we can do better. Let us know what you guys are interested in seeing from us. Our typical format has been review charts, review the news, talk about overall market sentiment. If you have other stuff you want us to cover, if you have particular stories, particular charts that you want us to take a look at, let us know. We can't read your mind, so you've got to leave a comment. Also, definitely helps out the algorithms as well, so we appreciate that. Give us a follow on the X page. We do also have a private community group, the Tier 5 community. It's like $150 to join. You just need to hold a few Acquire.Fi tokens. You can get in there. Tons of great alpha, a lot of OGs in that, and we do offer some exclusive investment opportunities from time to time there. So if you're interested in checking that out, encourage you to do so. Obviously, DYOR, not financial advice, as always. But yeah, thanks for watching. Give us a like and a follow, a subscribe, or whatever if you're on TikTok or YouTube, whatever they call it there, a like, a subscribe, a slap, I don't even know. I'm not on all the social medias anymore, but do the thing that shows that you enjoyed the video wherever you're watching it.
Thank you, guys.
Nice. See you guys next week.
Later.